Guten Morgen. I'm testing. What do we like? Hold on. Okay, I like it natural, like this. I'm sorry if you like the other version. I mean, I've got my salt lamp on. Yeah, that's better on its own. I got this. I went to H&M, tried on a bunch of like minimalist clothing, and I had this dress, and I was like, yeah, you know, like that would be good. I get a lot of uses out of it, but I was like, let's leave it. We can go for a wander. We can come back tomorrow if we really want the dress still. The wander ended up in this. No regrets. I haven't used it yet, but I will, and I'm so excited. So I went for a shower. I had my amazing shower thoughts, you know, as we do. This saying of, I see it for myself. I don't think people fully understand the gravity of that. Like, what does that mean? I see it for myself. You don't literally see, you don't physically, you're not seeing something. But it's an intuition. It's a inner knowing. That's what seeing is. The time I realized this alternate meaning to seeing was when I'd call one of my spiritual teachers. You just got knocked. I'm very sorry. So one of my spiritual teachers, she told me about how she always knew that her purpose in life was to help people see, and like that's what she wanted to do. She's now in her 80s. She was intent on becoming, like, I think it was not an optician, but like some sort of eye doctor. Maybe it was an optician, I don't know. She wanted to help people to see. And for whatever reason, I think it just didn't work out for her. She didn't end up qualifying in it. I don't know for what reason, but it just didn't work out. She ended up becoming a school counselor. And it was through that she actually managed to help people to see. For those of you that don't know, counselors, they help, like therapists, shrinks, they help you to see your blind spots and what, you know, yeah. So anyway, this word to see, it's not a literal thing, it's an intuition. What does your soul see? And for myself, exactly, for yourself, you go somewhere, someone's like, maybe you go shopping, right, clothes shopping, and you try the clothes on maybe, and you kind of test out whether or not you see it for yourself, right? Well, you give a lot of importance to that, I would assume, when you go out and you try these dresses or whatever you're trying on, the watch, I don't know, you're trying the car or whatever, right? You have a lot of thought to it and a lot of importance to whether or not you see it for yourself. But the irony is that a lot of us actually don't put the same terms and conditions on other more important things in our life. For example, getting married to a certain person, pursuing a certain career or degree, or lack of, you know, yeah, whatever. Like, people don't, maybe even a friendship group. Why is it not, so all of a sudden the myself part is like scratched out, or the question isn't even there at all. You're allowed to have that question, you're entitled to it, it's your life. So I just wanted to bring that up. People forget to listen to their own voices because they're conditioned to think that the voices of other people are inherently more valuable, especially in certain scenarios. But it's like, especially in certain scenarios, no one's voice is as valuable as yours. For example, like marriage, right? Stereotypical example. I'm very grateful to not be experiencing this myself, but like in a lot of Indian households or a lot of South Asian households, traditional, whatever, it's this there's this expectation to look to the elders. The elders know best. But do they? Not always. You gotta, now if I were to get into that, let's put it this way, do not take wisdom for granted. Appreciate people's sentiments, appreciate where they are coming from, and the fact that life experience does have something, there is something there, something to be said for that, absolutely. But if your intuition is screaming at you, which is not something it typically does, but if the thought of marrying someone, literally, you can physically feel it, you're like, some alarm bells are going off whilst wedding bells are going on outside, that's a problem. Okay, and that's the same thing for anything else, career, walking a certain way from your job, like, you need to listen. And we shut it down, we shut it down, we shut it down, and then we wonder why we're so angry, or we wonder why we hate our partner, or why, it's like, there might be multiple reasons, but you know, you're suppressing yourself. Or at least if you weren't in the beginning, the continuation of it, you don't have anyone else to blame but yourself. Okay? So listen to yourself, so that you can like test, you can look at your life and ask yourself, do I see this for myself? There are some things, especially in, I mean, to be honest, all throughout your life, you won't know until you try it. Now, okay, you know, I'm not going to talk about drugs, but let's please use our common sense. Sometimes the most I see it for myself you're going to experience is just the inclination to try something that you feel could work. You may not be 100% sure it's going to work. You may not know exactly what it's going to look like, but you just have this feeling that you need to just try it or do it and just test it out. There's something there. You know there's something there, and you cannot ignore that feeling. That's enough. That's enough if I see it for myself. Take it and go. So the next thing I want to talk about was man. I just want to also say this video is going to be quite random, but yeah. One thing I noticed a long time ago, I don't know if I've uploaded this video. I don't know if I will. It's an old video from late 2020. I'd just become a barista maestro or a shift leader at the coffee shop that I worked at, and I was working with mixed team, ages, sexes, probably genders, I don't know. I really struggled with my position and feeling confident in myself, and I'd look around at the guys that I worked with. No, please just bear with me before you start thinking things. I realized that no matter how shit they were at their job, how little knowledge they had, how little effort they put in, they just have the audacity to just keep walking in there with their heads held high. It was just like, it was this sense of importance, not like arrogance necessarily, but it was more like, I'm here, I'm a man, I'm here, I'm a guy. Literally, I'm talking teen guys as well. And there we were as women. I always knew when I was walking into a shift that if I had girls on the team, not all the time, not, you know, that we had some exceptions, but for the most part, they would work their butts off. I didn't have to tell them what to do. I could give them guidance. I could say, hey, could you handle it? Could you handle it? You know? But I knew that it would be handled, that I wouldn't be mumming anyone, right? Or like cleaning up after anyone. And I noticed these guys are just, they're being paid exactly the same as me. And it's almost as if, I don't even know if they saw it, the lack of effort and attention to detail, but the fact that even if they did, regardless, they were just so okay with it. They were so okay with it. And at that point, I was struggling with my confidence so much, like stepping into that, feeling like I had the right to have authority, even though I'd been working there for 3 years. I just had to look at it and be like, you know what? You need to have the audacity. You need to have the audacity just like them. Now, I was thinking about it, and then, I was thinking about it this morning, and then I was thinking about the word I used, audacity. Audacity. Now, talking about, I'm not, by the way, I just want to say, those colleagues, like, they weren't, they were not bad people, they were not shitty. We still had some wonderful moments together as a team and everything, so there's nothing like that. But I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and say that they worked as hard as me. Again, I just want to say this is not all of my teammates, but enough for it to make a point. The word audacity is interesting to me because I couldn't see it as confidence. Now, maybe it was confidence, because either way, whether it's confidence or audacity, the reason I perceive it as audacity is because as a woman, we're not told to take up space. Like, we're not told that, hey, even if you put in less effort, it's okay. We got your back. It's not like that for us. It's just not. And so I perceive that, maybe it's confidence to them, maybe. The fake it till you make it thing, I don't know. Or just to sort of have the right to be here, even if I'm not. Like, I don't have to keep earning my right to be here. Does that make sense? And I think women have this feeling that we need to keep proving and proving and proving. And me having been in that position, I look at them and say, you're not doing enough. But they could look at me and say, well, you're doing too much. So what's the right balance? Either way, I think it's an interesting discussion. And I think if anything has to change, it's that I'm not going to sit here and say that we should encourage all women to be ambitious. Because a lot of women, naturally, in their feminine energy, not all women, of course, they don't inherently have that drive to achieve. And that's not something we should criticize them for, because that is more of a masculine energy. And I think if we're trying to promote that, we're promoting women to almost be more like men, and I don't think that's necessary. But I think what is necessary is allowing them to be ambitious, creating that space for them, seeing their work as just as valid as their male counterparts. And you know what? Again, I mean, it's hard for me to speak to a lot of men because I'm not a part of that. But I guess if there's anything I can say right now is, if you're in a workforce working with women, please take a moment to notice where perhaps they're putting in at least twice as much effort as you. And I don't just mean in the office. I mean, they had to have their hair done, their makeup done, perhaps their nails done, just to be considered professional. Whereas all you have to do is wake up, wash your face, shower, shave, and you're good. Maybe not in that order, but where they're expected to do the exact same hours as you, regardless of whether or not they have their periods and they're dying, please just take a moment. And if you're a leader, regardless of if you're a male or a female, a man, woman, or whoever you perceive yourself to be, please just take a moment and check yourself if you need to be checked. It might hurt your ego a bit, but you will be a better leader if you hurt your ego in the short term and improve the health and happiness of your team long term. Another thing I wanted to discuss was the male gaze and the parental gaze. So every now and then I'll watch, there are a couple of, not just a couple, but there are a few YouTubers I watch, and they're men, and they're fantastic in their fields. But sometimes they come out with these things that are very interesting about women. I could really get into that. But to save my peace and sanity and yours, I won't. There have been times where I've commented to try to have my voice be heard and just say something, because I can't not say something, you know? But I'm realizing that I'm wasting my breath there. I can say something, but the effect that it's gonna have is like, I know there's a metaphor or a simile out there that I could use, but not even a drop in the ocean, I guess. I don't know, like, it's gonna do it. So it's not worth shouting in a room where people aren't even listening, you know? Like, you get what I'm trying to say. So the best thing I can do really is just create an area where my voice is heard, and I can build my own empire in life, whatever that means, and I can hopefully in the long term prove that, I'm not gonna say like overall my way of thinking is better, no, but like the perhaps liberal attitudes towards women and healthier attitudes even, where that be highlighted and promoted. I don't know, I'm still figuring that one out. Plus I'm 22, so give me a moment. So I need to sort myself out before I try to sort out like issues with women's everything. Yeah, every now and then, having watched these videos, I will feel like maybe I'm not enough. I don't know if anyone else has felt that out there, any other women, but you feel like, oh, maybe I'm not being feminine enough, maybe I'm not attractive enough, maybe I'm not a virgin enough. What else? Oh yeah, maybe I'm not daddy's little girl enough. I don't know if I'm conveying my point correctly, but a lot of men think they have this image, right, of a woman who's sweet and you know, she supports him, she's gentle, she's soft-spoken, she looks after the babies, whilst he's thinking about his work, she's sitting at home, you know, cooking, cleaning, washing his underpants, all whilst looking very pretty whilst doing so. And her lock screen, you know, that's his face, and she has like 5 contacts on her phone. When she does go out, her spouse needs to know who, what, when, where, why, how, A, B, C, D, F, G. Etc., etc. Yeah, so they have this vision of how their dream woman will be. Oh yes, she's better than the rest. She's not like the other girls. She's, you know, she's a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets, and oh my god, and all my guy friends want her, but I have her, and yeah, look at me, I'm top dog, and I'm so cool, man. Yeah, hand me my cigars, let's go have a smoke. I'm not shitting on women that are feminine, that are more feminine, good, beautiful, fantastic. You do you. You'll probably bag yourself a wonderful masculine man, etc. But what I'm not for is women being made small, women being made to shut up and sit down and be pretty, be quiet, and be pretty. Or that, hey, you're only gonna get our attention when you're pretty. You're only gonna be worthy of our respect when you're pretty. Oh, you haven't shaved? Shut up, we don't want to talk to you. Because I've seen it. And I'm angry about it, in case you couldn't tell. Oh, I'm sorry, is that not feminine enough for you? Like, oh. I get these moments, fuck's sake, where I feel like maybe I'm not feminine enough. You know, maybe I'm, because I'd like to be. If, you know, one day I decide to settle down and all that, I would like to be with a strong, masculine guy. That's like kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, if I end up being with a woman, cool. I kind of know the energy I want though, right? And I think I'd probably prefer to be with a guy. And sometimes I think, you know, maybe I'm blocking myself, maybe I won't be able to get it, but then I see myself and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not the most feminine cookie around, fine, or feminine flower. So it's a random thing that came to my head. But I like me. I like me. I wouldn't have me any other way. A few years ago, I tried dipping my toe into being more feminine. Yes, I did get a few more guys' attention. But was I happy? Was I fulfilled? No. Because I was like, I need to be shaved. My hair needs to look like this. My makeup needs to look like this. I need to sit like this. I need to be like this in a conversation. I think I just don't have the bandwidth right now. Maybe when I'm older and I'm looking to settle down, I'll be happy like playing a bit more with my feminine energy and all, like, but I think right now my priority is to get my life together, to get myself together, figure out what I'm doing, who I'm trying to be. So I don't care about when I'm texting a guy, oh, I should wait 2 days and I should send him a little winky face. I don't care. If you're gonna waste my time, I'm not interested. Like, there was this guy I was messaging. I look back and how I ended it was a little bit abrupt. It was a little bit masculine, I guess you could say. But it was just like, we were trying to make plans to see each other, and he was out of the country, and he's saying, oh yeah, when are you around, something like that, and I was like, something like, I don't know. He said, I'm coming back next week, and then eventually he kept like trying to get like something more, and I'm just like, well, you're not in the country right now, I'm busy, why are you still, like, come on. And I said to him, I was like, I said to him eventually, I was like, okay, hit me up when you're back, I'll check my schedule and we'll go from there. And he's like, okay boss. I haven't heard from him since. I get it, I shut him down, I was kind of masculine, but I was like, boy, you're wasting my time and I don't want to play no games. I'm not interested. Be direct with me. I don't have the time for it. And I think this kind of ties into like sexual stuff too, where there's this sort of, and maybe there's some like truth to it, and I will find out when the time comes, when I'm perhaps older and I'm looking to be in a relationship. And to be honest, I've seen myself be in my feminine energy. I know I can do it, but I'm not gonna get into that when it serves, like, I don't need it. I don't need to utilize that in terms of like trying to pull a man. I'm not interested. And I think what people, guys especially, don't understand is that I'm not trying to center my existence around appealing to you. When I wake up every day, I don't think, how can I look super pretty for a man? I don't. I just think, okay, I need to get my life together. I'm behind on my uni work. You know, I have these chores to, I ain't thinking about you. So stop giving yourself so much importance. It really it pisses me off. It pisses me off. So you're allowed to wake up every day and think, what is my mission? What is my purpose? What is my drive? Who am I as a man? And a woman can't think, hey, what am I doing with my life? Who do I want to be? How can I have a positive influence on the people in my life? How can I make sure I'm fulfilled? There are some women out there that will be so fulfilled by just having children, and I respect that. I know one day I'm going to be so fulfilled by having children. I've known I wanted children my whole entire life. And I get it, like, I do. But there are also women out there that's the furthest thing to them when it comes to fulfillment, alongside marriage and commitment, and what supposedly they're just bad. They don't fit the mold of what belongs in our society, so inherently they're bad, or they're shady, or they have nothing to offer, or they're not of value. I'm sorry, just because they're not of value to you and your gaze, it does not mean that they are not of value to society and that you should disrespect them. I'm sorry you're so butthurt about the fact that a woman has just as much ambition and drive as you. What, you can't handle it? I mean, come on. Most women, they're not trying to take a guy's job. They're just trying to get a job. Okay? That's what their intent is. They're not out there trying to be like, I want that man's job, I'm gonna take it. You know how like in the tribal days, men used to invade each other's villages and be fucking disgusting. Yeah, and whatever. They used to do that, right? Women aren't trying to do that. They're not looking at your position as CEO and being like, I want it. And we're not going, right. Of course, there will be some women that, maybe they want to do that. But our intent collectively is not to steal your job. Our intent collectively is to be able to have that job. Period. Whether it means your job or not, we just want to be able to. We just want to be able to. Not by having to appeal to your gaze all the time to get up there. Or worse. And I also want to say, I've been reading about it, it's not just at the top. It's not just, hey, we want to be CEO. It's, hey, we just want to work in a team. We want to work, it's not just up here. Glass ceiling is not the word. I will so, that book is everything. But it's not just up there. It's all of it. It's everywhere. It's this way too. So if you're a guy, you're probably playing a part in it. I'm sorry, but you probably are. Women want to be heard. They want to be respected as equals. That's it. We're not trying to take something from you. We're trying to build with you. Just let us. You want to be healthy? You want a healthier, happy society? You want healthy kids? Help us. Because if you don't help women, you're screwed. You're screwing yourself. You are screwing yourself. I'm so sick and tired of this, like, narrative that women should just be feminine and pretty, and that them being educated is not necessary. I mean, but why? Why would you want that? Why? Just, you can get married. The guy should be the ambitious one. Said who? Said who? Fuck off.